Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has defended the Nigeria government's resort to loans to expand infrastructure in the country. Fashola, who spoke to the news agency of Nigeria, said that the country would not make meaningful progress without taking loans to boost infrastructure. He explained that borrowing is not a sin and it is part of the essence of keeping the economy growing. It is in our own interest that the government does some borrowing and spends it on investment, because that sector contributes to the gross domestic product and contributes to employment. I do not support irresponsible borrowing, so let us be clear. There has to be some sense to this. So long as you are borrowing to invest and you are investing in assets, then we can have this debate from morning till night, and I don't think I will come out unsuccessful. I agree with everybody must keep their eyes open about how money is being borrowed, what is it being used for, and whether the debt is sustainable. We just delivered a rail program through the Ministry of Transportation. That is a 100-year asset that you have got now. So some economists say wait until you gather the money. That is bad economics. The minister said, you are a lawyer, remember. While pointing out that many developed countries created super economies through borrowing, Fashola said that the recent loans obtained by the federal government will not mortgage the future of Nigerians. We came from a background of colonialism where we were told that if you go borrowing, you go sorrowing. So my parents and their generation told us never to borrow. But while we were not borrowing, those who laid the rules started borrowing. The largest debtors in the world today are from the West, but with borrowing, they have created some economies, built massive train terminals, massive airports, schools, and hospitals. And you know what is happening? We go to use them and they charge us. So who is paying? I have heard people say they are mortgaging the future of people. As we are holding this meeting, one new baby has arrived. If you don't prepare for him to make that future bleak, as at the time we were building Lekki Bridge in Lagos, it was 29 billion naira. The child that was born then in 2010 is going to be 11 this year. If his mother carrying his pregnancy has crossed that bridge at any time, he used that bridge before he was born and he had secured that asset for him before he arrived. If you wait until he's about 30 to build that bridge, we can't buy it at 29 billion anymore, 29 billion naira anymore. If we wait until he's about 30 to build that bridge, and you know what will happen. So if he contributes to the paying, it is to be because he started using it before he even arrived. So those of you who said don't borrow have changed their minds. They have set parameters of debt or to GDP, and within those parameters you play very well. And those who say so now, where were they in 2005 and 2006 when the government paid out a $12 billion in cash to go and buy a tent when the house is flooding? Who does that? They took $12 billion in cash to go and write off debt that had been classified. The roads were bad then. The rail was not built. Airports needed expansion. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway needed to be built. That one has been there. But since the aftermath of going to write off that debt, we started borrowing again. So this administration did inherit all the debts. There is a sector of our economy called the financial services sector. If all of us put money in a bank and nobody is borrowing that bank is going to fold up. So if you have anybody in any venture capital, finance house, mortgage house, it is because the government is borrowing that they can pay their salary. Borrowing is not a sin. It is part of the essence of keeping the economy growing. And the armchair economists talking about public expenditure, for example, who have never run a government, must be careful what they feed to the public, Fashola added. you and those people, you are talking jargons. Now you are talking about what you use you built in Lagos, the bridge you built in Lagos, the child that was born there, and those who were alive there or who were adults there, and now tell me what they have gained. We know, and the people who are talking about it, because even if you build the infrastructure, those things that you said you have built, you still take the money and you share it among yourselves. You know where you share it. What has Nigerians benefited? What what have they benefited with all of these things? It is a good thing if it is going to be well managed. Now that they said that Buhari went to go and launch this thing now, at the end of the day, once they get the money from there, they will squander it. You will not see anything again. You are saying that the economists or those who are saying that should know what they are talking about because they don't know what they are saying. You as a lawyer, you are not telling us you are not more knowledgeable than them. When it comes to law, they can't fault you. They can't beat you. So what Nigerians are against now is that whether you borrow the money and you are making money from the money, with the people, with the masses benefit from everything at the end of the day. They will only pay for it, but at the end of the day, where they are supposed to be paid back in terms of incentives, remuneration, and what have you, they are not getting it because all the money are being used to pay people like you, a minister, pay people like you. That is all they do with those money. That is what they do with those money. What are Nigerians benefiting? Yes, that is what the right thing to do, to borrow money for infrastructure, and once you get the money and they will use it judiciously, not that they will use it to go and treat a Buhari, the same money they would use it to go and treat Buhari in the UK. And those who have been paying for those money, paying for that infrastructure, whatever, they can't even go to they can't even pay, even in the dilapidated hospitals, they can't even pay. They can't even pay. Lots of people have lost their lives. Tell me what Lagosians, all the bridges, all the toll gates that you guys built, can you say that Lagosian, what is the standard of living of Lagosians because of the money you are getting from there? So these people just talk as if the rest people are non-entities. With the kind of system that you guys have created, what are the masses getting from there? They will tell you that customs have made so amount of money, customers have made this. At the end of the day, do we as Nigerians, do we get anything? Do unto Nigeria what you can do to your home. That is all I have to say. God's judgment awaits all of you, your actions and inactions. Some of these innocent looking politicians may be more dangerous than late General Sani Abacha. Borrowing is only good in a system that has zero tolerance for corruption. Exactly. But not like ours. Exactly. You have hit the nail on the head. Yes, they borrow and lose 80% of the loan. I swear, that is it. Northern preach Sharia and embrace Sharia where it's written in the Quran for one to live with borrowing. They will not use the money judiciously. That is where we have the problem. That is where we have the problem. They will quote all the good things. This is okay if you do this. Yes, we know, but at the end of the day, is it practicable? Like somebody said, a country that has zero tolerance for corruption, that's kind of a thing we thrive.